what's up? Fuck. You can tell by the title of this video that it's gonna be a controversial topic. Um, Weed. Um, First off, I would like to give the disclaimer that I really don't give a shit if you smoke weed. I don't care if you don't smoke it. I've tried it sometimes. Um, don't really do nothing for me. This isn't really a hate thing. This is more or less an educational thing, or less okay, what I do hate, okay, it's kind of like a hate thing now. Okay, what I do hate is the fact that people believe that marijuana doesn't do anything to you. Like it's the holy grail of all drugs, that God put it down on the earth to save all mankind when it in reality it doesn't. There's plenty things a lot of people would tell you, hey, go online, do your research, man. Marijuana doesn't do anything to you. Are you serious? What type of research are you doing? There's plenty statistics out there. There's plenty research out there that actually talks about marijuana and its uses. For example, we got the CDC. The CDC is very credible. According to them, it has some negative effects. For example, number one is addiction. You can't get addicted to it. It's an addicting drug. If you know what addicting is, it basically isn't really good for you. Like something being addicted to something mean you put all your time in it, you spend all your money on it. It's not really a good thing. But I know what you're thinking. Hey, that's not that really bad of a side effect. You know, it's whatever, dude. It says 1 in 10 people um get addicted to marijuana. Like, come on, David, that's a weak point. Okay, weak point. It's just the first point, but hey, weak point. You know, it affects the brain. Ooh, wow, you didn't see that coming. It really does affect the brain. A lot of people think that marijuana does not affect the brain. It does. It kills brain cells. According to the CDC, according to drug abuse, and according to live science, it does destroy brain cells. And as you can see, like, it doesn't. But let's actually read these here. Let's actually read to see what are the effects. What are the short-term effects of marijuana on the brain? According to the CDC, heavy users of marijuana can have short-term problems with attention, memory, and learning, which can affect relationships and mood. What are the long-term effects of marijuana on the brain? Still the CDC. Marijuana also affects brain development. When marijuana users begin using as teenagers, the drug may reduce attention, memory, and learning functions and affect how the brain builds connections between the areas necessary for these functions. So you see? But let's keep reading. Marijuana's effects on the abilities may last a long time or even be permanent. This means that someone who uses marijuana may not do as well in school and may have trouble remembering things. Wow. 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 It also even says here, this still the CDC now, that marijuana has hurtful and has harmful effects on developing brains, such as children and teenagers, like I was saying before. So that's fucking wow. That's like, oh my gosh, mind blown. You're like, okay, let's actually read it from marijuana overactivates parts of the brain that contain the highest number of these receptors. This causes the high that people feel. Other effects include altered senses, for example, seeing brighter colors, altered sense of time, changes in mood, impaired body movement, difficulty with thinking and problem solving, impaired memory, hallucinations, delusions, and psychosis. This is basically the short-term memory, according to the drug abuse database. This is according to them. Now, with the long-term uses, marijuana also affects brain development. When people begin using marijuana as teenagers, the drug may impair their thinking, memory, and learning functions, like the CDC says, and affect how the brain builds connections, and that's yada yada yada. Research shows this could be permanent. Like this is a recurring problem, you know. Okay, let's go. Let's scroll down a little bit more. Okay, let's stop there for a second. There's still more that I want to uncover, but let's just stop there for a second. Let's go to live science. According to Live Science, according to them, feelings of panic and fear, paranoia, hallucinations, trouble concentrating, decreased ability to perform tasks that require coordination, decrease in interest in completing tasks. Are you serious? Are you trying to tell me there's no effect on the brain? These are credible sources, by the way. Now let's scroll down to how they affect the body. Back to drug. Since we're on Live Science, let's continue there. Marijuana smoke can cause many of the same respiratory problems experienced by tobacco smokers, such as increased daily cough and more frequent acute chest illness, such as bronchitis, and a greater instance of lung infections. Right? A 2007 that was that was just last year. A 2017 study shows that marijuana were 26 more people who smoke marijuana were 26 more percent likely to have a stroke than those who don't use marijuana. What? What? Marijuana can also raise the heart rate by 20% to the 100% shortly after smoking marijuana in the last 3 hours. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. So let's see what drug abuse have to say about it. Oh, breathing problems, increased heart rate, problems with children development during and after pregnancy, intense nausea and vomiting, right? This what? Are you serious? Come on, man. You pot ads out there. Do your research. Do your research. Now, you all heard the thing that marijuana helps cure cancer, right? Or at least help treat it is the more accurate way to say it. Well, according to the CDC, relying on marijuana alone as a treatment or for managing side effects while avoiding or delaying conventional medical care for cancer may cause serious health consequences. Boy, true that marijuana does help um, treat it. You shouldn't be using it alone as an excuse to, you know, treat your cancer. Like it's not gonna. Come on, dude. You get what I'm trying to say. According to the CDC, chronic pain is also a side effect. Heart health, yeah, like I said, it's bad. Using marijuana makes the heart beat faster. It also increases the likelihood of a stroke or heart disease. Lung health, also increases the chances of lung disease. It's also really bad for your lungs, kind of similarity to tobacco, right? Poisoning. Wow, I didn't even know this. I didn't even know this one. Edibles or food and drink products infused with marijuana and eating have different risks than smoking marijuana, including a greater risk of poisoning. Meaning all them weed brownies you're fucking smoking, all them weed brownies you're fucking eating, yeah, I kind of want to back up on that. Now, obviously, these are like short-term, long-term shit. Um, obviously, it's not gonna happen after like one blunt smoke. Obviously not. It's not gonna be like that. But you get what I'm getting at with this video. You get what I'm getting at by actually reading the facts. This is from the CDC, Drug Abuse, and Live Science. These are credible sources that you could actually look up yourself. Now, I didn't really want to bring this up, but let's just check out some crime statistics. For example, in California, that's like, because I don't know all the states that legalize marijuana. I know a couple. California is one, and they legalized marijuana in 2016. So let's look at the statistics from 2015 to 2016, according to the CDC, right? In 2015, they had they had 36,000 deaths that year, right? Deaths by firearms. They had 17,000 deaths by homicide and 52,000 by drug poisoning. Now, this was before marijuana was legalized. Now, after marijuana is legalized, you got 38,000 deaths. You got 19,000 deaths by firearms, sorry. Now you got 19,000 deaths by homicide, and now you got 63,000 deaths by drug overdose. Now I know what you're talking about. Well, drug overdose could mean anything. My point of pointing this out is a lot of people believe that legalizing marijuana is gonna bring like peace and joy. It didn't. It didn't, according to the statistics. The crime rate increased, rather decreased. Weed does not stop any crime. Weed doesn't decrease it in any way. Like you can't make the correlation. Now obviously this is kind of a stretch because it's not really saying that it's caused by weed. I'm just saying that weed wasn't really the cause of it going down, you know? That's all I'm saying. Like weed isn't, if weed is this holy grail, if everyone would smoke weed, everyone would be happy, it wouldn't be so much crime, police wouldn't be not much people be dying, etc., etc., even though we already read the side effects, right? Statistics shows crime did not decrease, crime actually increased when it came to whether when it came to 2015 and 2016 legalizing marijuana. That just shows me that that marijuana didn't really do anything. But I know what you're thinking. Oh well, that's just California. Let's look at other states. Okay, let's look at Washington. Washington is one of the states that legalized marijuana back in 2012. 2011, I'm not gonna really speak on their crime rate. It really isn't a bad state. I'm talking about state, not DC. I'm talking about state. It's really not that bad of a state. But the crime rate has actually increased from 2011 to 2013. Whereas, you got, you know, manslaughter, rape, all that increased, right? Now I know what you're thinking. Well, what does it have to do with marijuana? Again, like I'm saying, I'm not trying to say that marijuana is the cause of these crimes. I'm trying to tell you that there's no correlation between marijuana and peace. If marijuana was the cause of peace, if marijuana really would have helped everybody, if everybody would smoke marijuana, everyone would settle down, crime would decrease. There's a lot of things that wouldn't be happening. Everyone would have a job, economically it'd be beneficial. That's basically the argument. Economically it'd be beneficial. It's not. It's not. I've just proven it, and this is according to the first statistic that I was showing you about California. That was according to the CDC. What I'm reading now is according to the FBI. So yeah. And of course, everything I talk about, I'm going to leave in the description down below. You can actually read them yourself. You can actually see the correlation. Again, I'm not saying that weed is the cause of this. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying weed is the cause of the increase in crime. I'm just saying that weed is not the cause for a decrease in crime. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying weed has no correlation in crime increasing or decreasing, meaning that it's not gonna make everybody hold hands and be like kumbaya, kumbaya, kuna matata, what a wonderful place. It's not gonna magically turn everything into a paradise. It's not. That's what I'm trying to prove, and I've proven that already. People be asking, but why the fuck alcohol is legalized, huh? Alcohol causes way more deaths than marijuana. Alcohol causes abuse, in homes, domestic abuse. Like why the fuck is alcohol legalized and weed isn't? First of all, weed is legalized in a lot of places. It's just probably ain't like universally or worldly legalized, but it is legalized in some places. So you gotta be more specific. And You could always move to those countries, those states. You could always move there and go smoke weed. And you don't even have to move there. Just go there and smoke weed. You could do it. Um, but we're gonna talk about that. Is the reason why alcohol is actually legalized is because it had a beneficial impact on society. Ever heard about the prohibition era? I probably fucked up word up. Prohibition. Prohibition. I can't say it since, but for real, the prohibition, like from the 1920s to the 1930s, the prohibition era. That's where the United States was like a low, like a low, 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 like like the wars was happening. It's like poverty was like at an all-time high, you know, and it was a constitutional ban. Not even a legalized one, a constitutional. That's like the highest you get, you know, banned on alcohol because it caused too many deaths and etc. and and gambling. Like these were illegal. These were illegal, right? They have addicting properties. These were illegal. But what ended up happening was people actually started opening open up their little mini breweries in their fucking basement. People actually started doing illegal gambling, and that actually was making money. That was making money. The mafia was definitely making money off of that shit too, but they was actually making money. So what the government decided to say was, you know what? We see the high demand for alcohol. We see the high demand for gambling. So you know what? We're gonna do it. We're gonna legalize these things, and it's gonna increase the crime. I mean, not increase. It's gonna decrease the crime, and it actually did. It did decrease the crime a bit in terms of those two areas, and people were happily to drink and gamble as they see fit within the law. That's why alcohol is legalized and gambling is legalized and weed isn't. Weed has never made a national impact on a country like alcohol and gambling did. Now, will weed ever do it? No, because America is not in that poverty state to where we could actually test that out and see. And here's the thing: if weed actually causes, if we go back to side effects, weed actually causes drowsiness, anxiety, heart disease, lung disease, um, like all these different types of things. You really think that's gonna be productive in society? I mean, I'm just saying, like you really think anyone is gonna be productive if they're smoking weed all the time? Like at least with alcohol, you know, they puke up, they get up, they go to work the next day. With weed, with the long term use, like we already discussed earlier, it's gonna be hard for you to get up to do something. Indolence is actually a side effect when it comes to weed. So there you have it. Those are the statistics. Those are the facts about weed. Again, I personally don't give a shit if you smoke weed. I don't care if it's legalized. I don't care if it isn't. I don't even care if cocaine is legalized. My problem is when you believe that weed is something that it's not. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the bullshit. Just read the statistics. Like I said, these are from the CDC, Live Science, Drug Abuse, FBI. They're all in the description below. You can look it up yourself. Yeah, look them up. Did you enjoy those videos? No? Well, something is mentally wrong with you. Why don't you click one of these few videos that are popping on the screen right now, and maybe you'll like those ones. Bye.